Ashes presents a look at area news this morning. Sylacauga Police Chief Chris Carden has announced his resignation effective July 24th. Carden yesterday accepted a position with the Alabama Attorney General's office as the law enforcement coordinator for the state, a position he'll take over on July the 27th. Captain Kelly Johnson will serve as interim chief as the search begins for a permanent replacement, that according to Sylacauga Mayor Doug Murphy. Carden said in his resume for the position in the AG's office a few months ago, receiving a conditional offer of employment last week. In the new position, Carden will serve as a liaison to law enforcement agencies across the state, serve as the Attorney General's legislative team, and organize the annual Attorney General's Law Enforcement Summit, among other duties. The career move was facilitated when Lewis Zook, the former coordinator and Carden's predecessor as chief, vacated the position. Carden said he felt it was time for him to move on after a nearly 4-year stint as police chief. He'll continue to live in Sylacauga and commute to his office in Montgomery. Now, Mayor Murphy commended Carden, and also Carden recommended to both the city council and to Mayor Doug Murphy that Kelly Johnson take that position that he would be stepping away from. And Carden described Johnson as the most obvious choice, saying he would transition seamlessly from his captain position. While Johnson expressed somberness at the prospect of Carden leaving, he also felt honored to have the recommendation from his boss. Now, Mayor Murphy confirmed he spoke to Johnson, who has already accepted the position as interim when it becomes available. While Johnson will take over on July 27th, 3 days after Carden's resignation, his pay will reflect the pay of the interim chief starting the day after Carden's final day. Johnson said he has an idea of who will serve the equivalent of the captain position, though he declined to offer a name. Council President Rocky Lucas said it's likely the council will approve the mayor's appointment and Johnson's subsequent pay increase during its next meeting. So Sylacauga Police Chief Chris Carden, in somewhat of a surprise, announced his resignation effective July 24th. Carden officially yesterday accepted a position with the Alabama Attorney General's office as the law enforcement coordinator for the state, a position he will take over on July 27th. So congratulations to Chris, and thank him for his service the last 4 years as police chief of Sylacauga. Well, downtown Sylacauga will be rocking and rolling this weekend as the merchants of downtown Sylacauga are going to take part in an unprecedented block party in time for back-to-school shopping. The back-to-school block party will take place downtown Friday from 5 until 9, spanning roughly 35 businesses through 3rd Street onto Norton, Broadway, and Calhoun Avenues. The idea for the block party began when Linda Chandler of Lou Bell's Clothing and Accessories, who felt a date close to the start of school year would likely encourage more shopping. The ultimate goal of the block party, however, is to find a new and potentially permanent means to boost commerce in the downtown area, a goal many merchants have sought for years. Though labeled as a block party, it'll not block any city streets, taking up only the sidewalks. None of the merchants participating have any guidelines on how to conduct business Friday. They may conduct business outside their respective businesses, conduct business as usual inside, or make one-time offers in the light of the event. Councilman Tom Roberts said the lack of guidelines should make the block party more organic and entertaining. Roberts helped Chandler organize the event. It's an idea that both Roberts and Chandler is excited about and has drawn the support of the Sylacauga Chamber of Commerce. Though not a chamber-sponsored event, President Mike Landers expressed pleasure with merchants seeking to improve business traffic on their own downtown. Also in news this morning, a fairly run-of-the-mill Talladega City Board of Education meeting yesterday turned into an open forum for a diverse group of mostly angry people speaking their minds that continued for nearly 2 hours after the first attempt of adjournment. Subjects raised after the board's agenda had been exhausted, including everything from handling of Sergeant Michael Tatum's funeral to the number of vacant teaching positions to outdated technology at Talladega High School. The overall tone of most speakers was enraged, while others toward the end included calls for unity and understanding for the betterment of the children and the community as a whole. members of the group Save Our Schools, that's a grassroots organization made up of parents, school employees, and students, came out to the meeting expecting to address the board, but were ultimately disappointed. Founder Keela Brown presented board members with a list of 10 positive and 10 negative things that the group's various subcommittees had managed to put together. Actually, the list of positive items had only 8 on it. Brown also submitted a written request to be included on the board's next agenda per their rules. Now, Monday's regular meeting actually began with a 30-minute work session to cover some of the goals and objectives discussed and compiled during a previous work session. These included student achievement, communication, recruitment, retention and enrollment, diversity training, and an alternative school. Each board member weighed in on each topic briefly before the regular meeting began. It is 7 minutes after the hour, and finally in news this morning, police in Talladega continue their investigation into the Thursday evening killing of a Talladega man. Well, no arrests have been made as of yet. Alderic Garrett, age 23, was found shot on the 800 block of Scott Street at 6:20 p.m. on Thursday night. He was initially transported by North Star ambulance, then airlifted to UAB in Birmingham, where he later died. Chief Jason Busby said yesterday he is grateful for all the people who called into the city's anonymous tip line over the weekend. All the information and leads have been phoned in or being looked at by investigators, he said. He said, right now, we're seeing where it goes. Garrett, of course, is the son of local poet and author Marshall Pope. If you have any information on this shooting death, you can call the city's detective division at 256-362-4508 or the anonymous tip line at 256-299-0011.